Yeah.
Marshmallows. Oh, we're live.
The marshmallows.
We're live.
Welcome to a very special Average Gamer podcast. It's going to
Yes.
be your Destiny Spoilercast, a discussion forum.
Spoilercast. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I know you haven't finished the game, Shane, so you're going to be spoiled. So
Shane's
get
the average
ready.
gamer.
You're
Wait,
the average
don't
gamer.
spoil it for me.
Listen, Shane.
It's not gonna
Shane,
matter.
there's nothing valuable to learn.
Okay.
Go ahead and go.
Anyways, so first thing, right off the bat, all I want to know is, Shane, tell us what you think about this video game Destiny.
You have to do your 30-second review.
I mean, it's so difficult because I don't really care. Like, I don't know what I don't think it's fun really.
Okay,
Like it's fun to play on online, you know, like online it's fun.
that's what it's built for.
But like the other part is like it's so stupid. It's like
When you say
there's no
online, do you mean
story.
like Crucible, or do you mean like?
Huh?
Do you mean
I think he just
Crucible,
means-
or do you mean like?
Like
playing
multiplayer, like
Okay.
multiplayer.
But does that mean like the co-op or the?
That's the only one, because the co-op isn't even real. It's like fake. You're running around in this place with people you can't even choose, even though there's more than you're allowed to have.
He's asking if you mean multiplayer as in like when you and Tommy play story missions or
No.
Slayer Crucible.
Oh, wait, that's kind of fun. Those things we did were fun.
That's
Like
what
the
the whole
strike
game is, though.
No, but like
That's what the game's supposed to be.
Oh,
like the strikes and stuff.
yeah, like
You're
the
supposed to
strike.
play online with your friends, and
But I mean, like I don't like how you can only have 3 people on your little squad, but then
that
when you walk
pisses.
around,
That's like my
there's
biggest
other
complaint.
people. There's other people who like could be other people that you know, but there's just random people. Like, why can't
Yeah.
those people be people you know too?
Yeah, no, that's my biggest complaint is that we've been conditioned like throughout our lives for 4 players.
4.
And then for a game that's like not pitched by Bungie as massively multiplayer, but kind of MMO influence, you can only have a team of 3.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird. Pisses me off. But I guess you have your raids, which can go up to 6, but still annoying.
how do I sell guns?
You just hold square over it. Shane, don't play. Go back into space. Join my fire team and go into space and then wait till we're done.
Well, no, I mean like I'm just like selling things and stuff. I'm not actually playing. Okay, continue.
Okay, continue. Well, first thing, I think the best way to do this is to basically go through the list
God,
of
yeah.
complaints that people have had. We can talk about it. With the first being the story, which no one in the world has followed.
Okay, but yeah, but like
Peter
This story
Dinklage
is
wants
so
us
stupid.
to get away from the darkness, but
Yeah. So would you
don't
like
like-
me? I did the due diligence to actually research the story, so I figured I would explain it to you now if you guys want to understand.
look
Sure,
at
if this
things-
is a spoiler cast and all.
I mean,
Alright.
sure.
For the case.
Sure. Okay.
Like it's just stupid to go places to talk to people who don't know who they are.
You just tell
Yes.
the little Dinklebot to like do something, and then you fight people when they attack you.
Okay, let me just go over a story.
It's the
So
same
basically,
thing
a
over and
giant
over.
orb showed up called the Traveler a few hundred years ago, and
I
just
got
like
that
Mass
part.
Effect, yeah, just like Mass Effect, basically this allowed people to become way more technologically advanced and like travel to different planets and all this stuff. And we got a bunch of technology, and we colonized all the way out to like Saturn and stuff. But then something called, quote, the darkness, which isn't really explained, took over, and all those colonies were completely evaporated, destroyed, and were taken over by different other factions. And the only human colony that remained was on Earth, on that tower, like the city, the last city, and that's only because the Traveler protects it, the giant orb. So basically, the plot of the game now is that this darkness is out there, and the Traveler created all these little ghost guys, little mechanical guys, to go around and revive a bunch of dead people and turn them into guardians, so that they can then go and hopefully defeat the darkness. So that's
Okay,
like
yes,
the
how
over.
why did dead people come here?
What?
Why am I dead?
You're not. That's just how it works. That's just what he does. He finds like dead people and like brings them back alive, and
Okay, but he said my body's been he said that I've been dead for a long time and things might look different, but why is my body still together?
I don't know, Shane. It's sci-fi.
Oh.
Oh. Anyways, so that's the overarching story. Basically, what happens throughout the game, of course, is you get awakened as one of these guardians, and you basically just run around and do stuff until you meet this one chick with a sniper who shows up. Not a sniper, but you run into her, and basically she says, "Oh, you can heal the traveler by destroying the heart of
Wait,
the darkness."
I don't think I've met her yet.
If you went to Venus, you should.
No, I'm
But
so
anyways,
mean.
you run into her, and then you're like, "Oh, I have to defeat this heart." So then you go to the reef and have one cutscene with a bunch of weirdos, where they basically say, "Oh, we'll help you get to the heart, which is in the Black Garden. If you get us a giant head of something, so you go and kill it, you bring it back, and then basically to cut it all short, you kill a bunch of things, and then you end up in the Black Garden, you destroy a heart, and that's the end of the game. And the Traveler's supposedly healing now because of that.
But then what about Destiny 2 and Destiny 3?
Well, there's a bunch of other crap that's not explained at all. Like, there's this whole entire thing with this thing called Rasputin that's completely dropped.
Rasputin.
They talk about Rasputin and Charlemagne for like the whole first
Yeah.
5 missions, and then they just kind of
Basically,
like
this Rasputin's like a piece of technology Russia made to like defend Earth, but now it's being used by the Hive to do some bad stuff, and then it's completely dropped. So you assume DLC will be like brought up. But
Wait,
the interesting,
the Hive is the little people that run at you like. "Grr."
yes,
What is it
What's
like?
the name? What's the
Very-
name of the other people?
the Fallen.
Okay, and then are there more?
Yeah, there's 2 others. You'll run into a species called the Vex, which are like robotic things. They're kind of cool. And then when you go to Mars, you run into these amphibian things. I forget the name of, but they're pretty fun. But the interesting thing about the story that came out is the rumors that were released today because of some idiot who doesn't understand what an NDA means.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this guy is claiming on a post on Reddit that was then deleted that the story was completely different than what was shipped, and this coincides with like the head story leader
Ship?
writer shipped like
Yeah, Shane, like
final
delivered,
product.
like delivered to your house.
So the story is
Words.
different now than when it was shipped to my house?
No, listen. Yeah, they recalled the whole thing and rewrote the disc. No,
Look at his
About a
face.
year
He's not
ago-
paying attention.
He doesn't know what the
About
fuck
a-
is going on right now.
I do.
about a year ago, this guy, well, not a year ago, like a few years ago, he played Destiny as a tester internally, and he
Yeah,
signed an NDA.
We were beta testers.
No, this is like internal. Like Bungie hired him to play the
Okay,
game. He was a game
okay.
tester.
Yes.
Okay. And he signed an NDA, and he foolishly thought that, assuming this is all true, which again, this could totally be made up by some guy, but there's been other info that seems to be legitimate, confirming it. But basically, he thought after the game was released that his NDA was lifted and he could talk about it, which isn't true. But it was too
That's not
late, and he
true.
talked about it.
So he's an
And
idiot.
basically, the whole game story, there was way more depth to it. It was way more complex. It made way more sense. Basically, what he said is there's this main character, the Crow, and basically like a quarter way of the story, you're abducted by this guy named the Crow and taken to this place, and you learn like the truth about the Traveler and the giant orb guy, and that it's actually bad and all this stuff.
Okay, but why?
And it caused
it
the
different?
darkness.
If
and
they
all
already
this
made all
stuff.
that, why would they make it different and less?
No one knows. That's the problem. This is like hot off the presses, Shane. This is just coming out. So no one really knows what happened, but this guy says, and there's like a bunch of screenshots people have taken from like previous like vid docs that Bungie have put out. Did David vaporize? Oh, okay, he's back. That kind of confirms some of these stories. And it sounds like a way more interesting story. Like basically, you learn this giant orb actually caused the darkness, and the speaker guy was just like over time convinced everyone that that's not the case, and then you're now a rebel group that's trying to make the truth out, and it was way more complex and all this stuff. So something happened.
What happened?
Uh,
Call me old-fashioned, but I like stories.
The guy left. The main guy left.
Well, the main guy left, but they already had that was like a year ago, so they already had this giant. Like they must have been pretty close.
Maybe the main guy owned the rights to whatever that story was.
No,
Personally.
there's
Yep.
that would be a horrible business decision.
Well, so.
Shane knows.
Anyways, so the other weird thing is now there's all these like cards that tell a lot of story that you collect throughout the game, and that's where a lot of this other stories like really branched out. But people are kind of claiming through this and other rumors that basically they gutted a lot of the main campaign pretty like closely to release, like within a year of release.
Okay, but like, I don't get why they would do that. If something was already made, why would they get rid of it?
No one knows. Now, the other, of course, cynical belief is that because Activision's publishing this game, that they might actually have a lot of finished content already, like a large chunk, and they wanted to make it more expandable for DLC. So basically, all this will be DLC in the future. But again, the main story arc's
That's
already
true,
changed,
man.
so we don't know what the deal is.
Interessante.
Very. And there's other changes, like you went to the moon last instead of second. Bunch of stuff. So it's all kind of up in the air. But basically, the story is one of the biggest disappointments people have with the game because it really doesn't matter. And this wraps into the fact that the whole entire like gameplay is extremely repetitive.
Yeah, it's just so stupid. It's like,
That's
let's
like
play
every
this
game,
way.
though.
I know. Well, this is what's interesting is a lot of people are like complaining about the repetition of the fact that you get a mission, you go, you like hold a button basically to let this ghost thing
And then like all the monsters
do
attack.
something, and then a bunch of monsters attack, you kill them, and that's it. But I mean, that's like Borderlands was basically the same thing.
I know,
Yes.
which is what I hate about Borderlands.
I mean, it's not repetitive.
I don't know.
You can say the thing about anything. Oh, Crash Bandicoot. Every level you start, you try to find a diamond, and
Yeah,
then
but you have like variety. I mean,
every game.
anyways, so that's like a lot of people are pissed at the fact that they feel like they're doing nothing, which I kind of agree with for the main campaign because let's be honest, the main campaign kind of is like
Sucks.
that and it's kind of boring. But
Yeah.
then those strike missions are fun.
I still have yet to
I think those are
strike.
fun too. I when I did them with you and with Shane and my brother, those are fun.
Yeah, I like that.
I
was
want to
fun.
play. I want to play.
They're much more like
Well, now
like,
Andy's
you
on level
actually
like 30.
I'm level 20. I can still do them with you.
Okay.
We
yeah.
can still be friends.
No, they're like way more tactical and like they're just better. And I'm really hoping we're of course not high enough levels to do the raid, which is like level 26, but that's like strikes on steroids basically.
Is there a lot of people in it?
It's up to 6 people in the raid. You actually need
I want.
6,
Why don't we do a raid together then?
because
You
you
have
have to
to
be
be
a
level-
higher level.
26.
Oh.
So you two little goobers have to level up.
Well, what are you, Chris?
20.
Oh my God, how? I'm sorry I have to do other things sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
It's
other
not like we've
things
played it all that
also.
often.
Yeah, it's not that hard to get a level 20. After that, it's hard. So the thing about Destiny that's I do like though is mechanically it's like really good. Like it feels right, which of course would make sense considering Bungie made Halo.
Yes, and visually it looks right.
Yeah, visually it looks great too. I mean the art direction, there's like a couple times where like you'll look around and it's really
Yeah,
well
Chris and I
done.
had a moment when we were running out. I think it was near the last level.
Yeah, the Black
It
Garden.
was like
You
ran
wait,
out.
you did the whole
Like-
game already?
Yeah, dude.
And you're only level 20, so what's even the point? I don't understand. This is so
What do you mean
stupid.
only level 20? Once you get to level 20, it's like you have other stuff to do.
But you already beat the main one?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
you're only level 20, and then there's more stuff, but what's the other stuff?
Level
you have
20
to
is
level
the
up.
level cap right now.
But,
So how can you be level 26 for raids?
yeah.
Because you have to you just can't you have to get pieces of armor that have like light attached to it. So like
What?
Basically, instead of leveling up, Shane, you have to get like better, better armor, and
Yeah.
Where? From who?
From
but from loot drops.
And that makes you better, higher levels, but all you do is get the armor.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like I can't get to level 21 by just killing stuff anymore. I have to get specific pieces of armor.
I think I just did that because I turned something in and it made me level 12.
I don't.
That's not.
That's not what they mean.
Oh.
That's not what we mean. I'm
You
never.
just turned in a quest, Shane.
Uh,
You never didn't you play Star Wars Galaxies?
yeah.
Tell me that game
Did
wasn't
you never-
repetitive.
That was not repetitive
didn't-
whatsoever. You could
It
own
wasn't.
houses.
You could build a little town.
Yeah, I was the mayor of my town on Tatooine.
That one.
Anyways, so no, like actually playing the game, especially on those strikes, like when it actually becomes difficult, it's really fun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that was some of the most fun when me and Tommy were doing one. It was like hard,
And Shane.
but yeah,
And Shane.
I met Shane and Tommy, and I. But it's like hard, but it was fun. It wasn't like
Yeah.
too hard where it wasn't fun, and it wasn't too easy to where it was boring.
And that's why I think that's why the actual competitive multiplayer works is because even though the competitive multiplayer, like let's be honest, as like a multiplayer suite is pretty limited, like compared to other games, online first-person shooters. But because mechanically it's like so well done, it's still fun. So I like that. Shane, you said you like the Crucible.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that. It's fun.
Although, Chris, we
Yes.
tried to do the salvage one, the 3-person one, me, Tommy, and
Yeah.
Shane, and we got worked.
Really? That's what I was
Like,
doing great,
dominated.
and then I was, yeah. So that's the one
But that's
issue I'm
different.
having. Is,
I don't think that our guns were even like they say they are because people were shooting me like 2 times and I would die.
well, this is my issue. Is they talk about in the multiplayer that all the guns and armor are evened out, which seems to be the case. But then there's certain weapons that are like, you can tell it's more powerful than yours just based on like rate of fire and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they seem cheaper. Which I guess you can say for any like Call of Duty has its fair share of weapons that are really cheap and all this, but it is kind of frustrating. That's the world we live in now.
When does the new Call of Duty come out?
I think November.
That looks cool. Andy, in your other one, your the Lord of the
Lord
Rings.
of the Rings.
The Shadow of Mordor or whatever.
Andy has such
Comes
good
out.
ratings.
It looks
Cut off
good.
heads. It's cool.
9.5.
Also,
Wait,
also the sound. Whoa.
is
Yes.
the Call of Duty that's coming out the one where like the fish are moving
No, that came out last year,
and then
dude.
there's like a dog?
That's last.
No, that was
year.
last year.
There you go.
Oh.
This one, you wear like future armor and shit, and it
Future
looks just like
armor.
Crisis. Looks just like Crisis.
Yeah, I've
Anyways,
seen the
also the
feature.
sound in Destiny is pretty.
Yeah,
solid.
I feel like I say that every single time we play, and I don't know if it's because I'm playing with a headset for the first time ever, but like the sound is
The
so
music
awesome.
is cool.
Yes.
Like
No,
there's just
I
some like little robot noises, the like things. They're so good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I was pretty impressed with that. Everything but, I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
The
We got
story is so bad.
fucking Peter Dinklage.
Dinkelberg. It's
That-
so bad.
It's
Well, who would you
horrible.
rather, Morgan Freeman?
It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't
It's just the
matter
way he
who.
does it.
It's just
It was
I don't
like-
know. I think because okay, obviously no one's like debating the fact that he's a good actor, like he is, but it must have been the direction they like gave because they obviously wanted him to be somewhat robotic, but
I don't think they knew.
Like-
I don't think he knew entirely what he was doing. He's probably just reading things from a line in a paper.
I mean, there's times he says things and I'm just like, oh my god, like that happens all the time. It's horrible.
Who's
Like, I
Peter
forget the
Dinklage?
couple- What?
Oh, I just looked him up. Oh,
the
he's
little person from Game of Thrones.
the dude from Game of Thrones. Yeah, I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Hmm.
He doesn't like fantasy.
He doesn't like
I don't
Western.
fantasy.
Anyways,
Cowboys.
I mean, it's just so bad. Like, there's even
It
when there
is.
is
It's
emotion, it's like I can't even explain. It's like
it's one of those things like if you're playing and then he starts talking, it just like pulls you out of what you're doing because it's just
it's
Really?
Just
You
really
guys are
bad.
such
weird.
divas.
No,
David.
dude.
It's like you're right about it, he'll be like, "Oh my gosh, the darkness." And it's like
It's,
great thing.
Maybe it's because you guys watch that show, so you guys have some like affiliation.
no, listen. It doesn't. Peter Dinklage is an irrelevant variable in this. It doesn't matter that it's Peter Dinklage. It's just bad.
So it could be Carl Pinkelton's voice, and you would be zoned out.
Yes, it's horrible.
Okay,
Anyways, focus on it next time you play. Okay, trust me.
I'll try not
Like
to.
you can't ignore it once you notice it. It's horrible.
I agree.
Well, thanks for ruining the game then.
What?
Now you ruined it for all the viewers, all of our UK viewers.
But everyone knows Dinklebot's horrible.
Think about it.
But he's like the first person you hear in the game. It's not like a thing at the end that is surprising.
Yes, and he goes, "Hello, wake up. I've been looking for you for a long time."
That's not even how he sounds. He's just like, I've been looking for you for a long time.
It sounds like he's bored sitting on the toilet.
Like, literally, he sounds like he's bored out of his mind.
Oh, you guys.
And wasn't it like in the beta, I forget the exact details, but people were complaining about the voice work in the beta, and I think it was something related to they had like a robotic filter on it or something that people didn't like. So I think they took that out, but that only made it worse.
I
'Cause now
thought
we
I
just
thought
like
in the beta, I thought they were complaining that he sounded too robotic. Like he was trying to be like, or no, not that he sounded too. He did not sound robotic enough.
Oh,
Like
really?
he was just like a normal human, and people were. I think I could be totally. I
I
thought it
don't
was one
remember.
way or the other.
Either way, there was complaints in the beta, and whatever they did to compensate for those didn't work at all.
People just love complaining. They do. People just love thinking about things.
Yeah.
There's no appealing to masses. There's no such thing.
So,
I'm sure even
Anyways.
reviewers are, like to bitch about things. They're probably like, "Mer."
well, the issue. I mean, here's basically my summary of the game as it is if we didn't know this was Bungie, and if this wasn't being in development for like
Gazillion
as
years.
long as it has been, and the amount of hype that was behind it, and Bungie didn't do itself any favors by really like holding back what this game is. Like, I'm constantly reading video game news, and up until the beta, I still didn't really fully understand what this game was supposed to be. I don't think a lot of people did. Like, obviously, everyone's going to buy it because it's Bungie and it looks cool, but
Yes, I think this is the same. Like, I'm having just as much fun playing this as I have in the past of going to like the $5.99 bin at Walmart and picking a random game with an alien on the cover.
What?
yeah. Like,
I mean,
there's
I
definitely.
think it's a little more fun. Like the multiplayer,
Yeah.
the strict multiplayer stuff is really well balanced. I feel. I mean,
Yeah.
aside from like a shotgun drop I got that's just like super overpowered, the multiplayer aspect of it's really fun. Like have almost no complaints about it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the production
Single
value.
player.
The production value of the game's at another level. I mean, everyone can tell graphically, and there's a lot of money in the game. But it's one of those, when you heard initial talks about what this game was going to be, it was going to be like, all the rumors were it's an MMO first-person shooter. You could travel to these different worlds. Like, there's a giant story and lure. What's the word I'm looking for?
Lure.
Open world. Open world.
Lore to all the aliens. It was going to be like, imagine Mass Effect, but MMO and playing as like Halo first-person shooter. That's what like the rumor kind of was, and Bungie never really shot down these rumors. They kind of just let everything float, like, oh yeah, Destiny, and no one really knew. So I don't think they were ready for like the disappointment people had, because they didn't really realize like this isn't what people expected. And also the game just kind of feels like it's really fun, but it does feel like soulless. Like something's missing. Like it really does feel gutted in some way.
It has its soul. It has no soul.
It has no soul. The game is soulless. A lot of people are comparing this, though, if you look at the first Assassin's Creed and how people were pretty excited for that game, and then when it came out, there was like
It was so
there was a ton of flaws. Okay, the foundation was there. Like they made the engine, the running and all that, like the parkour and all that. Speaking of parkour, David has a parkour story we'll have to get to in a minute here, but
That's
you
weird.
have to want to talk about it now.
Sure, this is like a segment to parkour.
Yeah.
Long story short, I was at a park with some friends. We were having a little picnic, and some like 15-year-old kids were doing parkour on these like tables and like all these objects. Bless you, Shane.
Thank you.
So they were doing like parkour and like tumbling and like doing all this crazy shit. So I was like, oh, I can do it too. And I like start jumping around like a maniac. And then one of these like super jumps I did, I heard like clack on like the bottom back of my back.
Mhm.
And oh my god. I have been in the most horrific pain for the past 3 days now. Like
Why don't you go to the
terrible,
hospital?
excruciating pain in my lower back. Because there's nothing I can do about it. It just has to heal with time.
Yeah, but what if you broke something?
No, I didn't break anything. It's just like super, super, super painful.
Interesting. That's what you get for parkouring.
So I will
You're
never,
old now.
I will never parkour ever again.
True. So, anyways, Assassin's Creed, that first one, a lot of people played it, but a lot of people complained. And then if you look when Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and I'm not a fan of those games, but Assassin's Creed 2 came out and it really refined
Two
and
is
expanded
great.
upon the foundation that they built, and it was exceptional. So I'm really hoping that's like if you look that Bungie has a really good foundation with this game. It just needs more to it.
Well, that's
And
what I know. They have 2 expansions planned
yeah.
already. And
Oh,
so,
there's
like, I'm
going to be
wondering
a constant
they're-
onslaught of DLC.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if they're gonna do it like an MMO where they like release periodic expansions, or if there's ever gonna be like,
Yeah.
are we getting Destiny 2 in 2 years?
Well, that's the whole entire thing. I mean, it's already been announced, not announced, but based on court documents, we know that Activision's planning this as a series of games. This isn't like a World of Warcraft system where World of Warcraft comes out and then they do incremental updates to this base package.
But
No.
I feel like
There will
if
be
we,
a Destiny 2.
if we can't like take our characters along with it, like
Well, I'm sure you
I-
can.
Andy,
I was
you
gonna say, like if Destiny 2 came out and I have to like start a whole new person, I don't want to do that.
Andy, no, you can.
That's how most games are.
Mass
I
Effect.
That's not
I
how
guess-
most games are.
Mass
Most
Effect.
games you can't
Mass
carry your
Effect doesn't.
dude.
I know
Mass
most
Effect-
games you can't.
Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
They'll definitely.
Mass
I mean,
Effect you can.
it's a character-oriented game, so they have to do it. The issue is people aren't going to want to be like in Mass Effect. You brought your character over and all the decisions you made, of course, but every single time you restarted with your new
Mm-hmm.
skill set. And I don't think people will want that in Destiny.
That's what I'm
I
saying. I don't think that's what. If I just had to start at level 1 again, I don't care enough. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
unless the story is like fantastic, I don't want to do it again.
But then you're gonna have to be able to level up to like 100, and in the next game after that you have to level up to 200.
But
See, that's what I
how
figured,
Every
but-
single
Which
MMO
is the
game
same
ever
thing.
is.
Yeah, but that's just the
That's
same
what
thing.
I figured
That's
that's how
starting
DLC
from zero.
would come out, and it includes like Destiny 1 in some fashion in case players haven't had it, or like it offers it as a free download, and then like Destiny 2 is kind of required that you start at level 30 or something. But even then, it's like you have this stupid light shit once you get to level 20. Like a lot of people are just going to give up after that. And if that's a requirement for Destiny 2, they're not going to want to do that. So I'm hoping they have a plan.
Well, that's what I'm assuming. If I had to assume that, say, Destiny 2 comes out next week, it raises the level cap from level 20 to level 40. You know, it doubles it. All of your light points, I'm assuming those just disappear. So if you're level 30 right now, or level 26, you just go back to 20 because that's the level you are without your light.
I don't know.
So that's one thing. I mean, if I have my same weapons and it just says I'm 20 versus 26, and I still have all my same shit, and I just can, go do missions and
Yeah.
actually get experience.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But again, like that's what I've gotten out of it is like this is the first. There's a lot of problems with it, but the foundation's there. Like it just needs more. Like the fact that you only go to the moon, Mars, and Venus and Earth, kind of.
Yeah, I thought there was another one.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't go to Jupiter. That's a gas giant.
Yeah.
Jupiter has a gajillion moons.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyways, that's why it just seems very like even you have like this whole hub world, but that's the only time you have any social interaction with anyone. Even that, like, you don't talk to anyone. I guess Bungie's announced I believe they announced they're going to have an opt-in social voice chat, so you can like go to the tower and then opt in to chat with everyone in the whole entire area.
Oh my god, a bunch of little children running around screaming
I was
things.
just gonna
That's
say
why
though,
it's an
there's
opt-in.
what are you gonna like recruit people to do strikes with or something? What benefit is there to talking to anybody?
Well, that's the problem. They built this whole thing that's supposed to be like a social MMO style game, and then you can't even talk to anyone. There's like no really. All that matters is you have two friends that can play at any time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
Speaking of friends playing, let's play later tonight. Okay.
Well, I can only play for another hour, so if we want to play, let's go
I
play.
can't right now. I
really-
haven't eaten. I'm starving. I'm withering away.
Well,
on that note, let's get our final rundown because I've talked about everything I want to talk about on this game.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, Shane.
Yes.
Do you have any? What's your little summary?
The multiplayer is very fun, but call me old-fashioned, but I like stories and I like to have reasons to do things.
So you should play Final Fantasy, Shane. That's all story.
I'm bored even
Final
listening.
Fantasy is
That's
all
too much
story.
story.
Oh.
That's too much story.
Andy, what are your review?
I mean, I think it's fun. Every time I've played it without friends, it's been just super boring. So it just falls into that Borderlands. This is fun with friends with great multiplayer. The multiplayer's great.
How many Andes does it get?
It gets 3.5 Andes.
Oh my god.
All right,
All
David.
right. I give it a 4.2 out of 5.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of fun.
That's the level 10.
Yeah,
But
well,
you
it is fun. If anything, playing alone is easier because when I'm playing with a bunch of people, all the goblins and stuff are all even harder.
I don't think so.
It's not fun.
They are
playing
harder
alone.
because because when I'm alone, I can just sit there for like an hour and just like snipe one by one all the little monsters from far away.
That sounds so boring.
Yeah, but then you get points when you do that.
Yeah, but you get points when you play with your friends too.
Yes.
Hence how Chris and I are level 20 and we've just been like
Chris, how
casually
many
playing.
Chris's do you give it, Chris?
I go on a 10-point scale.
No, you
like 10 point.
can't. Just divide it in
Well,
half
that-
so we're consistent.
Well,
Just cut it in
okay,
half.
but I'm not doing this point. Well, I guess David did a 4.2. Okay, then divide by 2. I guess I'm at a 4.1.
Ooh.
Whoa.
And originally, if you were to ask me like a week ago what I'd give this game, I'd probably say a 3. But
Yikes.
once I stepped back and like looked at it for what it is,
Okay, maybe I need to take a second and look at the big picture.
well, no, you hated
What is
Borderlands.
the big
though,
picture?
so-
I know.
It's-
I don't know what the big picture is. Never mind. You're right. I can't because there is no big picture.
Oh my God.
Anyways, you have to jump back and like look at it for what it is and ignore all the hype around it and certain flaws. Like you have to ignore the fact that you don't fly your spaceship and that it's a loading screen. Like there's certain things like that you just kind of have to like be like, that's stupid. I thought like there'd be spaceship customization more than just my loading screen, you know? But if you ignore like just these things that they basically you can tell just didn't have time or just didn't have the resources to do, then it's a pretty good game.
Mhm.
But it's a foundation at best. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, imagine how hard it would. Like, can you make that game? No.
That's not the fucking point,
You should
dude.
appreciate the hard work that went into making that thing. You would never be able to make a game that good.
What's your point?
What I'm saying is, like, it's easy to like be like, oh my god, I wish you had 10,000 gigaloos, and it's like you can't do that
Barbaloo.
because Barbs are very hard to program, and like this is a hard,
Probably can't be in every
this
game.
is a complicated game, and they built it from scratch.
So every game gets at least a 4 out of 5 because it exists.
No, I'm saying
Ratings
like
are based on
Final
competition.
like Final Fantasies almost always get 5s out of 5 is because
They're
so
boring.
hard to.
That's
Andy,
not
did you
true
see
at
the
all.
did you even see the trailer for the new one?
No.
Tell me that looks boring. Look at it. You only hate it because I like it. That's the only
I think-
reason.
It's not
Excuse me,
true.
I played Final Fantasy X.
That was so
Yeah,
long ago, Andy. Oh, I played Pac-Man. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna play anything that has a yellow character in it. Like that
I'm
was
just
so
not gonna play any more Final Fantasies. They're not fun.
that was so long ago. By that standard, you could go. I could go. Oh, I played Grand Theft Auto 1, and I didn't appreciate being a little pixel. And oh, the little pixel was so boring. And it's like, bro, grow up. It's the 21st century, and it's Grand Theft
Yeah,
Auto
bro.
5 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only
Okay.
played the pixel. You should watch the trailer for the
play
new
it.
one.
I'll play it when you watch True Detective.
Done. Easy sell. Because I wanted to
doesn't
watch
watch
True
True
Detective. Even though I don't like country westerns or whatever, I'm still gonna watch it.
He hates country westerns. Speaking of True Detective, just one last little tidbit.
Vince
Shane.
Vaughn.
Shane, let's hear it. What are your thoughts on the fact that
What are
it's
your
been
thoughts?
cast with Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn?
Good, I like them.
But we called it on Dead Screen already. We already knew this. We said it.
Not the Colin Farrell part.
Oh, but
And
Vince
the
Vaughn,
girl.
you guys said.
Yeah, and the girl.
Who's
what's her
doing it?
name?
Rachel McAdams. She's obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't like her, but anyways, that's it. Destiny. I guess we'll keep
Destiny.
playing. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it expands over time. That's all I got for that.
But for free. But for free.
Strikes are fun.
Not gonna be
For
free.
free.
Not for
Not-
free.
I want everything and I want it all free now.
I have bad news for you. It
Yes.
won't be free.
But why? Why not just give me a whole game? Why do I have to be sold like little bits and pieces? Like imagine
Because
if you,
it's the
imagine if
21st
you
century, David.
imagine if you bought a puzzle, and then it was like, oh, you only got 80 out of 100 pieces. You have to buy each additional piece. It'd be like, fuck you. Like, just sell me the whole puzzle, and then that's
No,
it. I don't want to buy it like
it's like
an
if they sold
expansion
you,
pack to get
like-
like the whole puzzle.
It's like if they sold you like a flat puzzle, and if you built the puzzle, it'll be a whole puzzle, but it'll be flat, and then you could buy extra pieces to build on top of the flat puzzle to make it even bigger,
Yeah.
more complex puzzle.
What?
It-
There's no such
it's
thing as
actually like a
non-flat
shitty-
puzzles.
It's a Shane shitty analogy that kind of works.
So dumb analogy.
A shame.
Name one
shitty
puzzle that
analogy
builds
that
up.
kind of works. A 3D puzzle.
3D puzzles.
don't
Who
have
does
DLC,
those?
that's why.
Kids who like 3D.
Anyways, it's the world we live in now, David, and
It's
you
so
have the
stupid, I
option
hate
of buying
it.
a season pass, so you buy it all straight up in the beginning, but you just gotta wait for the final pieces.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Why can't we just go back to the old times where the whole game
I
is
do
in one
en-
package?
I do enjoy the days when like everyone would buy The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and everyone had the exact same game, glitches and all, and that was
Mm-hmm.
it. No patches. Like the fact that
No
patches
save.
didn't exist, like, is mind-blowing. The fact that every single game has to be patched because of some asshole finding some glitch. It's like back in the
Luke
day,
Cage.
it's like that just existed and that's it. Sorry. It's insane.
I know.
Call me old-fashioned, but I like being sold a whole pie, not just a slice of it. Call
What
me
if the pie's not finished baking yet?
Yeah,
David. I don't like
And then
it.
you'd
It's
have
so
to
annoying.
wait like you're gonna have to wait like an extra week for the final slice.
Well,
So you
I'm
could have-
waiting now.
You can have 9 out of 10 slices now and then one slice later, or you have to wait a week to get all 10.
I'll wait a week. I have patience.
But you end up with the same content.
Oh. I'm waiting for the game with the.
I don't know why
At least-
defending this side. I hate it too.
I'm waiting for that game where you have the guns and then you like shut the police car door to shoot.
Division.
The Division.
How mad are you gonna be when you just like don't casually close doors like that?
No, I
My
want
volunteer is reviewed.
You're gonna be so mad.
to. Shane, what? Because
Why'd you say that?
he's excited for the new Hunger Games to come out.
I guess so. Alright, folks,
Alright.
that's it. That's been your Spoilercast.
That's been your average.
spoiled.
No, wait,
This
no, it's been
story.
your Dead Screen podcast. Bing, bing,
What?
bing.